This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I am delighted to be joined by former world heavyweight champion Tim Witherspoon here outside the T-Mobile Arena at the Fury Wilder 3 Grand Arrivals. Tim, first and foremost, how are you?
I'm fine.
That's good to hear. Obviously we're here, as I said, Fury Wilder 3 Grand Arrivals. Fight night is only a few days away. But what do you expect to see in this trilogy bout?
Really, I don't know. This bout is really, I think it's really going to be a great fight, but it's unpredictable, because of the previous fights. And, you got a hard puncher in Deontay Wilder that he can end the fight at any time with the right hand. But Tyson Fury would get off the canvas. So I don't know. The first 2 minutes of the fight, we probably could see what the outcome going to be.
We'll start off with Deontay Wilder because you asked him a question during the Grand Arrivals about his training setup. Talk to me about that. Firstly, what have you made of his link-up with Malik Scott ahead of this rematch?
Well, he picked Malik Scott, but the thing is that I don't think he has enough experience to select trainers. He don't have the skills. He does have that right hand, and everybody can say, "Oh man, he's devastating." But when you come up against boxers that know how to get away from that right hand, it's going to cause you trouble. You're going to need somebody that's going to educate you more. So I don't think he's intelligent enough to choose the trainer right now because he got his right hand, and everything else really he has to really learn. So that's the question I was asking him. I was saying he's not really experienced enough to get his trainer when his management and his promoters should be doing that, finding him somebody that's going to really help him.
We have seen some training footage of himself and Malik together, and one thing in particular we've seen is some body work. Do you think that's going to be something we expect to see from Deontay on Saturday night? He'll look to work Tyson Fury's body because it is obviously a massive frame.
I seen them on the internet. They were posting the videos, which I think was a negative. You never post your videos when you have an upcoming fight big as that. You do not let your opponent know what you're doing. They were lifting weights, they were doing pad work, and they should have never did that. And I didn't see no defense incorporated in their work. So that was a mistake. I never seen him put his hands up for D. He just kept throwing punches. So I sent them a text on Facebook saying, don't put your work up on the internet because somebody's going to capitalize on it.
With Tyson Fury, in the first fight we saw him box more. The second fight we saw him aggressive, come forward, and he stopped Deontay. What do you think we'll see from him in this trilogy about what does he need to do to be successful?
I can't. There's no way because there's no way I can decide because the first two fights were wild fights. They were really wild fights, and I can't predict. We don't know if Deontay Wilder's going to come in there with that right hand and try to kill Tyson Fury. We don't know. Well, I don't know. People might think and know, but I really can't estimate what's going to happen on this particular fight. Because in the second fight, after 2 rounds, I know who was going to win. But this particular fight, we're going to have to wait and see. For me, because I can analyze, after 2 rounds, or maybe 3, I might could tell you. If somebody get hurt, you probably could tell even more. Because that might take away from the person that got hurt. He got hit, and then he's got to find out something what to do. So, for me, this fight is unpredictable. I'm not choosing one or the other, but I will tell you after 2 minutes. I can tell you after 2 minutes. Or the first round.
I'm going to come and ask you after the first round, Tim. But just to stick with the heavyweight division, obviously we saw another big heavyweight fight 2 weeks ago. Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk. Usyk, unanimous decision win. What did you make of that fight?
Yeah, I was watching that. I'm good friends with Anthony. I've been in his presence several times. I think he don't deserve what's going on. He deserved the heavyweight championship of the world, but they need to bring in a trainer. They need to keep McCracken because he's used to hearing McCracken's voice. He's really cool with McCracken, so they need to keep him there. But get somebody there that's going to show him is going to show him extra skills. He doesn't have them, you know, especially against the southpaw. I really didn't see that much in Usyk. I really didn't see that much in him. He was dropping his hands. He just was throwing punches. I mean, I would have had Anthony throwing punches over the top of his drop hands. You don't leave your hands low. You got to bring them up. And each time Usyk threw punches, he dropped the other hand. And so he needs a trainer he needs somebody that's going to really teach him how to capitalize on his opponent's mistakes.
Tim, I've seen some people suggest over social media that since the Ruiz fight, AJ's been a little gun shy and maybe a little bit too worried to let his hands go in case he gets caught on the counter. Have you seen that in his recent performances? You know, we saw him in the Ruiz rematch. He boxed more. Pulev took his time to get him out of there, and of course we saw his defeat to Usyk now.
Whoever told him to hit and don't be hit, which was McCracken, on that fight, he should have never did that. Come on, big heavyweight, big and strong, bouncing around like that. No, you don't do the things like that. It boils down to his trainer, you know. Everything you asking me, you know. The problem is his education. So I can tell you about Usyk. I can tell you about Ruiz. When he bounced around in that fight, it made him look really bad. I was so disappointed when he should have stood there, slip this way, bam, put your defense up after punches, block punches. When he was fighting Usyk, he wasn't blocking no punches with his hand. And that's how you could counter back. You was a block, but really he wasn't doing nothing. He was just getting hit. So there's a lot of things that McCracken don't know and people don't know. And I hope Anthony don't get upset, but he needs help. His legacy is at hand here. You know, he still can get it back. All he has to do is get the right person behind him. Like I said, I was trying to reach out, you know, and I think there's other people might be saying to him, I don't know about Tim or some, maybe, but he knows. Just watch my fights. I can speak real good right now. I haven't really got hit a lot, but I know what I'm doing, and I know what he need to do to get these wins and get his legacy going great.
From what you're saying, you'd be open to training or being a part of his training team ahead of at least the rematch, if not beyond?
I've been reaching out for couple of years. He sent the message back saying, no T, these was his exact words, no T, I got my team, and that we okay. But I know he wasn't okay. So I don't want to disrespect McCracken because they worked hard, they good friends, and his whole team. I just want to come in and help them. I don't have to be in the corner. They can just let me sit on the side, but let me show him these things. Like putting his hand up, catching a punch, throwing hooks, right, slipping on the southpaw, throwing punches. There's a lot of stuff he's not doing. He's, you know, and his defense needs defense. So there's a lot of boxers out there, a lot of trainers that can help him. But I definitely can. I know him. I met him before. He's a really good guy, and I don't feel bad that his legacy, if it go down in a negative way, that's his management, that's Earns and his manager's fault, because they could avoid this. They could avoid it.
All right, Tim, we'll leave that there now because it's getting a little darker. I'm sure you've got other things to do tonight. So I appreciate your time. Thank you for speaking to me.
Just give me that 500,000 you hit with this interview. Now, thank you very much. Thank you.